All right, sports fans. This is how to set up your computer for our heating curve of water lab that we're going to be doing real soon. Find a little search function up here in the upper right and type in logger Lite. When you type in logger Lite, if you've loaded this on your computer, it's going to show up as your very first search result. If you can't find it, it's okay. Go ahead and use Manager to download it. We might not have time for you to do that for this lab, so you can always pair up with somebody. Just make sure that your computer is set up in the following way. When we open up Logger Lite, it's going to ask you, well, first of all, it's not going to ask you anything. It'll pull up, it'll look like this. There's no sensors that are detected. Once you plug the temperature sensor into the side of your computer, you'll notice that Logger Lite does a good job of recognizing that it's there, and it pulls this up and it's ready to go. Okay, but we need to get this prepped and ready for our data. So here's the first thing you're going to do. If you'll come up to Experiment, here at the top, and click on data collection. The first thing we need to do is give yourself plenty of time. The duration that it's going to collect, it's set for 3 minutes right now. Let's go ahead and set it for 600 seconds. That way we shouldn't run out of time at all. Okay? Go ahead and click done there. Oh, sorry, before you do that, we don't need 2 samples every second. Go ahead and set that to 1 sample per second. And then go ahead and click done. All right. The other thing we're going to do is click on data and come down to column options and select temperature. And we're going to go ahead and switch this from Celsius into Fahrenheit today, just for fun. In science, we normally use Celsius or Kelvin. We're going to use Fahrenheit today to show you some of the strengths and weaknesses of this particular temperature scale. Okay? And then you'll go ahead and click done. Now you guys are ready to go with the temperature sensor plugged in and with Logger Lite prepped and ready to go. Once you put the temperature sensor into the ice tomorrow, it will start to measure a temperature. You'll notice down here in the lower left, you'll get a readout of what the temperature is. I'm going to go ahead and warm the temperature sensor up so you can see that it changes. And when you're ready to collect, you'll push collect right here. And it will start to actually graph 1 data point per second. And I'm going to heat it up. I'm holding it in my hand to warm it up. You'll notice right here it's showing you the temperature changing over time. And this is so we don't have to create our own graph. It'll just go ahead and do that for us. All right. If I take the temperature sensor out of my hand, you'll notice it should start to cool down. We're going to be doing this with ice on a beaker tomorrow to see what's called the heating curve of water. And when you're done collecting data, you'll click this stop collection button right there, and you'll have a completed graph that you can then save, and give it a title, something like heating curve of water, and click save, and that will be right there on your desktop, so you'll always be able to come back to this data and to this graph right here. Okay, so be familiar with that process, be able to set your computer up the way that we just described it, and you'll be ready to go for this lab tomorrow.